Wow. Now, we could laugh or we could cry, and this is a very serious matter. But thank God Donald Trump has the skills of Neo from The Matrix. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Radowski here of wearechange.org, and there is an absolutely incredible amount of crazy news to get into today. As of course, the world changed yesterday, and there's no going back from the absolute tumultuous future that we are headed towards, as of course the people that are getting very desperate will be making more actions and moves from here, as there's some serious things to talk about, especially when it comes to the corporate media coverage of that day. The larger questions that loom here, as well as all the other coincidences, as the independent media has been calling this out correctly for a very long time, as the situation is getting more serious than ever, and only beginning from my calculations. What in the world happened here? Well, we're going to be discussing that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media organization. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast looks like it was made by Providence76, highlighting an amazing meme video of the former president of the United States, and soon next president, in a satirical comedic video that highlights his absolutely incredible, amazing bullet dodging skills. This, as during this key crisis moment in this country, the corporate media is showing their true colors and just how absolutely disgusting they are, as the New York Times is deciding to focus on people who have questions about what's really going on here by launching an article that is talking about how social media platforms are deluged by unsustained claims, as the New York Times found it hard themselves to figure out what was really going on here, as it looks like they did almost everything in their power to obfuscate the larger ramifications, the larger impact of exactly what happened yesterday, as some of them tried to play it off like he was just escorted after a loud noise. According to the Washington Post, NBC News, there was a popping noise. USA Today, there was a loud noise that startled the former president. ABC News, loud noise ring out in crowd. Yeah, that loud noise was someone trying to take the life of the former president of the United States, you imbeciles. As of course, the people who legitimately have some very serious questions now are the same ones that were attacked, that predicted that this was going to happen. As of course, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, Temple, even myself. If you remember watching our videos for a very long time, we keep telling you that Donald Trump specifically needs an assassination-proof VP candidate that of course will scare the establishment so they won't be making any kind of larger aggressive moves against him. And that's exactly the same ethos that Tucker Carlson was saying that he was criticized by NBC News for allegedly stoking conspiracies, as what he said was going to happen actually happened. The New York Times still running with major hit pieces against Donald Trump today. This is the Sunday opinion page of the New York Times talking about, quote, he failed the test of leadership and betrayed America. Voters must reject him in November, specifically highlighting Donald Trump in an ever so untimely and distasteful manner, as there's some political extremists literally trying to somehow justify what happened yesterday, as Sky News is saying that Trump played some rules of engagement here, as we are really seeing some of the most disgusting takes that could possibly be taken, not just from online commentators, not just from corporate media, but of course, even Congress members. George Stephanopoulos is talking about, for some reason, how Trump added and contributed to this with his rhetoric. And I'm here paying attention to this saying, are you freaking kidding me? This is not the time, especially with so much on the line, especially with so many things that could have gone wrong yesterday, as we just found out that the former president just slightly moved his head, which saved his life, and according to my own personal opinion, saved this country from being on the brink of a full, all-out, chaotic internal destruction of this country. As there's a photo that's released literally showing the bullet flying at the former president of the United States, with a lot of people commenting This is Matrix level-ish. If he just turned his head, the former president of the United States would have not been here with us, as we are finding out that it could have been wind that affected the accuracy of this shot. As theconversation.com wrote, 1 inch from a potential civil war. Near miss is also a close call for American democracy, which I would agree. As of course, Donald Trump triumphantly, after being shot, literally got up, addressed the thousands in attendance with still an active shooter on the scene, and decided to pump his fist, look at them, and tell them to fight. A moment that I think will live with us forever. A moment that we decided to capture on one of our t-shirts here just to highlight the incredible moment. And this is definitely not the time to even tell you about our t-shirts, so I don't even want to do that because of the severity and the seriousness of this entire matter, as of course there's still some serious questions to why was he allowed to do that? What the hell was the Secret Service doing? Why did they goof up? Why did they mess up so bad here? As of course a lot of people are saying maybe this wasn't just a goof up. Maybe this wasn't accidental. Maybe this wasn't just a simple failure here. Maybe what happened here was a part of some larger plot here, as Business Insider talked to a former Secret Service agent that described the situation yesterday as an absolute failure, plain and simple. And there's many anomalies to exactly what happened here, as even Elon Musk is saying that this was either extreme incompetence or it was deliberate. Either way, the Secret Service leadership must resign, and I absolutely agree with him. As of course, a sniper in full rifle kit was allowed to literally go on a ladder onto an adjacent building near the former president of the United States and take 5 shots at him, as Secret Service agents literally decided to wait until the shots were fired, and when they recoiled, they took their eyes off of him and then engaged him and finally got rid of the threat. That was able to get 5 free shots from relatively close sniper range on the former president of the United States. As Dan Bongino came out and said, this is a failed action by Secret Service directors who now must be put in front of Congress and under oath immediately, as he is also reporting that additional security requests from Donald Trump have been denied, as we are headed towards an ever so tumultuous presidential election cycle that is obviously becoming very dangerous for everyone involved here. As he says that he can absolutely confirm the U.S. Secret Service Director Kim Chatil repeatedly turned down requests from a larger security footprint for Donald Trump. As a lot of people are taking online, especially from the sniper community, especially from the military intelligence community, and saying that what happened here is absolutely a failure. Now, was it a deliberate failure? It's another question. As of course, it's also important to note here, when we look at what happened in Reagan in 1981, the Secret Service acted fast. They acted quick. They got Reagan out of there when a lunatic tried to take his life. On this particular instance, you literally see the Secret Service, again, jump on Donald Trump, pick him up and keep him there on stage. You see Secret Service bumbling around, not taking charge, not taking action, leaving the president as a sitting duck for an extended period of time, as they frickin' had looks of fear and bewilderment in their faces. They were barely able to act coherently in any shape or form. Again, look at these images. Look at this particular video from this incident. They don't even know what to do themselves. As of course, 42 seconds, counter snipers didn't take the shot, according to some online analysis videos, as we are finding out that these snipers were looking at the shooter for allegedly 42 seconds, and they literally allowed him to take pot shots. As it's also important to know that, according to now CNN News, the shooter was actually spotted earlier by law enforcement at the scene of the crime, as he was spotted acting suspiciously near the metal detectors. Authorities announced over the radio to keep an eye on him. The information was passed on to Secret Service, as now his life was taken, and we are still trying to figure out clues to what was the motivation of this man. What was going through his mind? Why did he try to commit such a horrible action? As now a lot of those questions died along with him. Very conveniently for, of course, whoever was truly responsible for, of course, this heinous act. As the Daily Mail is reporting that he was also a Biden donor. There's also some people pretending to be that person. And I don't even want to give any of these people attention. I don't even want to show this monster's face, as of course we should be focusing on the people who lost their lives, as of course multiple people were shot. One of them critically in the head, taking his life. And that, of course, was Matthew Crooks, who was at the Trump rally and sadly no longer is here with us. As there's also 2 witnesses now. 2! And this is a small clip from one of them, specifically highlighting how he was trying to tell the authorities about a frickin' gunman on the roof.
And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is...
How did they fail? How? Which, of course, brings me to the conclusion that they probably didn't. And what happened here probably is far more sinister than the average American could contemplate. As, of course, it's pretty clear. Something doesn't add up here. Something doesn't make sense. And we have some very serious questions here about what happened. As if I was Donald Trump, I would absolutely not trust the Secret Service from here. I would also get a taste tester. I would also set up a very radical vice president of the United States that would scare the deep state. As, of course, Elon Musk also reported that there was individuals that tried to take his life, 2 of them over the past 8 months, as he came out and says that he fully endorses Donald Trump, along with other individuals like Bill Ackman, who also came out and fully endorsed Donald Trump. And I voted for him in 2016, I voted for him in 2020, and I'm going to be voting for him in 2024 myself. And not just because he's a convicted felon, but I think it's fair to say that the situation has gotten so out of control, so out of hand. As even a few days ago, I was asking the question, how do you rein in the intelligence agencies that have a history and track record of taking out presidents? And we're living in extremely dangerous times. In my opinion, the actions last night were a very desperate action by a very desperate system that is only going to be acting more desperate from here. And that signals more danger for everyone. And I wish that wasn't the situation, but sadly that's the situation we're all in. We're still very far from November, and I think the craziness is only beginning. I love you guys. Stay safe out there. Try to be there for your families. Try to de-escalate situations. Try to really appreciate the peace and relative calm that we still have now, as of course a lot of us take it for granted. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.